Hi, and welcome to the City Show. I'm your host, John Zimkus. Our first guests are Scott Brunka, the city manager, Ryan Dybczynski, the fire chief of Lebanon, and Amy Brewer from the Citizens for a Safer Lebanon, and I think Lebanon's #1 booster.
Yes.
Now, I keep on thinking of a Yogi Berra quote, deja vu all over again. Because it was 6 months ago that the three of you were here, sitting in the exact same spots, talking about almost the same thing, but this is a little bit different. What's this all about, Scott?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to thank the voters and the folks in our community who supported the fire income tax levy increase that was approved in November of last year. So that was really kind of step one in this two-step process. So the fire income tax levy that got approved in November increased the income tax by 0.5%, but then it also decreased the fire levy property tax by 3 mills. And that 3 mil reduction went into effect January 1st of 2024. So it's in effect right now.
I didn't realize that. I thought maybe it would stay there until the levy passes now.
No. The way the legislation and really the plan was put together, it was an automatic decrease. So effective January 1st, folks' fire levy property tax bill went down from 9 mil. It went down to 6 mils. That's obviously the good news is the property tax millage, has a reduction has gone into place. The property tax, though, it's a 5-year property tax, so it expires at the end of 2024. So we need to come back to the voters and ask for a renewal of the reduced 6 mil fire levy to kind of keep the department operating.
Now, what has already passed, at least from my point of view, was the hard part.
Correct.
As long as people realize what's coming up on, what day is the election? March
19th.
19th.
Yep.
19th. So that should be the easy part, because like you said, it's a renewal, but it's not as high as what it was.
Correct.
So it's 6 mils rather than 9 mils.
Yeah, I think, a couple of key points. It's not a new tax, it's a renewal. And with it being a renewal, there's no tax increase. So really it's that second leg of the plan. And really what we've done is we've shifted funding the fire and EMS operations to about 50% of it being funded by the income tax, and 38% is still reliant on the fire levy property tax. And then there's about 12% of our revenue comes from fees and just grants and things like that.
What kind of fees would those be?
So we do bill if there's a EMS run. We do invoice for that, and typically insurance companies then will pay for that service. So it's a small, relatively small part of our total revenue for the department, but it is significant.
Now, the whole plan together, the levy that's already passed and the one we want to pass in March, a lot of that is actually reducing people's overall taxes.
Correct.
Because I remember back in August when the three of you were here, we were talking about how more people work come outside of Lebanon to work than actually work in Lebanon. So the income tax is actually paid more by people outside of the community than those living in the community.
Yeah, it's a statistic that probably a lot of people don't realize, but we're actually a net importer of jobs in Lebanon. So we have about 11,500 folks who live outside of Lebanon who come work in our community every day. And we have about 8,500 Lebanon residents who work outside of the city. So what we're able to do by shifting some of the funding of fire and EMS over to the income tax side is actually lower than the property taxes that our residents and businesses pay. So that's the voters, again, thank you. They kind of bought into that concept in November, and this is that final step of just renewing that lowered property tax.
Now, Chief, what is the main purpose of this tax plan we're in the middle of right now?
Staffing, just to upgrade our staffing from a part-time, full-time model to a all full-time fire department.
With the passing of the income tax, have we seen any change yet, or do we still need to have the renewal?
We have hit the ground running. So we posted actually the end of December. We posted for positions. We accepted 32 different applications, went through a process of written testing, interviews, physical agilities. We ended up making 4 offers this week. So we're starting the hiring process and going through all that. So we'll be doing it again here next month.
How many staff positions are actually temporary?
As far as
As far as our fire department goes, how many positions do we want to have totally permanent and not temporary?
so we'd like to put 13 per shift is what is our number. So that's what we're looking at. So we run 3 24-hour shifts. So we'd like to run 13 full-timers per day.
Now, although it's a great plan with the two levies, for some people it still can be a little confusing if you're not paying attention. Now, Amy, you're part of the Citizens for a Safer Lebanon.
Right, I'm the chairperson for Citizens for a Safer Lebanon.
Now, there is going to be, I believe, 3 times where people can ask questions about this levy, what it does and what it doesn't do,
Right.
and emphasize that. When will those be?
Scott, can you speak to the dates on those?
The first meeting is next Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. at Station 41. And then there's 2 other meeting dates I think one's in late February and one's in March. If you go on the city's website, we've kind of got a frequently asked question sheet on the levy that would have those other dates. But the first opportunity is next week to just come in and ask any questions folks might have about the levy and why it's needed. I know one of the public information sessions is going to be kind of a Zoom, community Zoom meeting. So
I believe that one's on February 28th.
thank you. Sorry.
And we also have a Facebook page that I put all that information on because the important thing, and I think the reason why our levy passed last November, is we really worked hard to educate the public and our citizens. And there was a lot of involvement, a lot of engagement, a lot of good questions asked. We had one individual that came to 2, didn't quite understand it the first time, wasn't so sure she wanted to vote for it. Came the second time and the light bulb went on, had a sign in her yard and was there to pass the word on to everybody. So education is just really important because you're right. Sometimes it's a little complicated. And so you have to keep sharing that information consistently to make sure the voters know when they go to the polls what they need to do.
Well, it is complicated because there's 2 different types of taxes.
Right.
Right.
But the way it's set up, for most people, it's actually, a better tax program than what we had prior to that.
Yeah, retire. With the lowering of the property tax, retirees are going to see obviously, kind of a net reduction in their taxes since they don't pay income tax on fixed incomes. And again, folks who already are living in Lebanon but maybe already work outside the city in another municipality that charges an income tax, because you kind of pay income tax where you work, their income tax isn't necessarily going to go up with what was approved in November, but their property tax bill is going to go down. So there was a significant number of our residents who actually saw a total tax liability reduction with the passage of issue 16 in November. The issue number this March is, I believe it's issue number 1. Is that correct?
Number
Amy?
1.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there multiple issues, do you know?
Yes, there are at least a couple other issues that are on the ballot.
Yes.
Now, if they want to be on the part of the Zoom, they have to register for that. don't
Correct. Yes.
they? And how do they do that?
You can just go to the city's website, and there'll be a link and a way for everybody to sign up.
Now, if they can't make the 2 live meetings at Station 41, or the Zoom is beyond them, or they can't do that, who can they contact for information?
Well, they can certainly reach out to Chief Dipsinski. They can come to the fire station.
Yep.
Folks love to give people a tour of the facility and talk about the operations, but certainly they can reach out to Chief Dipsinski or myself in the city manager's office. We'd be glad to answer any questions folks may have.
Okay. Well, It's so nice to have you back here again. Are there anything else we should let the people know about the upcoming levy? Have we covered everything?
I just personally, we can't say thank you enough to the voters. Just what they've been able to do, and then kind of in the support that they've given us in the city. Yeah, it's overwhelming, and it's just really, really neat to see.
I think the voters, residents of Lebanon, know the importance of fire and EMS, and they stepped up to the plate to show the community and the city how much they do support it, and that means everything. I think we're an amazing community, and those services are so definitely needed, and appreciate all those that got out to vote and really need their vote again in March.
This is just kind of the second part to bring it home and be
Right.
done.
Well, I agree that the people have done a great job on realizing this, and I think they realize, as I mentioned before, that this is for many people, it's a pretty good deal. That's a unique plan, but the idea of having two different taxes, both helping the fire department and EMS, is maybe a little strange to them, but in the long run, it'll be a positive for the
Absolutely.
community.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it spreads out kind of the tax responsibility across the widest margin of folks that we can, and that was kind of our goal, is to not be reliant on any one group of individuals or businesses, but just try to kind of spread that responsibility out across everybody who benefits.
Share the responsibility.
Well, and we've talked about how more people work in the town than come from out of town to work here than live here and work here. But even those who come from out of town, it protects their employment. It protects where they work. It makes that whole aspect safer for them.
We have so many visitors that just visit the city for the day. They want to feel safe when they come here and enjoy themselves when they come here. So it's good that they know that they're okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for being back, and take advantage of this levy and help promote the safety of Lebanon. And we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Our next guest is Ali Andriarco, from the Director of Marketing for the Countryside Y. Welcome, Ali.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And we're talking about the Family Health Day. Is that correct?
Yes, Healthy Family Day.
Oh, thank you. Healthy
Yes.
Family Day. Now, I remember talking about this last year. I don't know if it was talking to you or not, but tell us about it. What is it?
So it's something that the YMCA nationally does this all over. And so here at Countryside, it's even more special for us because Premier Health has a space inside our Y. So it's really a sweet partnership between us and Premier Health. And this is a free community event. And we want to welcome families to not only get free health screenings from Premier, learn about their services, the Mammo Van's going to be there, but get to see our facility. We don't always have the doors open for everyone to try the rock climbing roll and play basketball and check out the track. This is a great time to kind of check out what the Y has to offer, learn a little bit about Premier, and of course, we love swag. We love swag, but we always try to make the swag part of like an activity. So we've got a lot of fun things where the kids have to like do a push-up challenge to get a medal, or they have to I'm trying to think what else they have. They have some of the crafts, some of like those like little Wix things, kind of like if you've ever gone to the Golden Land with a child, those little kind of wax characters. So we have all these little activities. So the hope is that the kids get to engage and really ignite their imagination. And it's fun for parents, grandparents, siblings of all ages to kind of connect and just check out the Y.
Now, the entire Y is open for this, right?
Yes, yes.
So, I read that there are classes you can sign up for, but you have to sign up for them.
Yes. So we do offer group fitness classes that morning, free of charge. You just have to sign up on our website or download our app and sign up. And it's basically just to make sure that we don't have too many people. It's just more of a space thing than it is like a paid thing. So.
And it's yoga and aerobics and
Yes, it's
other
kind
things.
of like a nice little taste of our typical day of group fitness in the mornings. It's something that a couple years ago we made all of our group fitness free to our members. And so it's a great opportunity for people who are like, oh, I haven't tried Pound or I haven't seen kickboxing, or we remodeled our Studio One. So getting to see that, we have our boxing bags kind of suspended from the ceiling. So it's really nice to kind of see some of the updates that we've made around the Y and get to check that out as well.
But if they wanted to go swimming or use the exercise machines, they could do that too.
Yeah. I mean, the Y is open for families to come and to play and engage and check out the Y. And like I said, and learn a little bit more about Premier. They have a lot of great free screenings and resources, and all their staff there to answer questions. I know a lot of times people don't always want to go to the doctor. They don't always want to ask those questions. So it's kind of like a friendly, welcoming place. So it's just a great time for all ages.
Yeah, I know when my wife had her knee replaced, she had her therapy there.
Yeah. No, we're really blessed to have them. It's been great. We've got to partner with them on a lot of different programs. We have like a delayed disease program that we partner with them, and it's cool to see them working out. Their facility, you would never guess how large their facility actually is inside the Y. So Healthy Family Day is kind of a way for you to get to check that out and see what they have there on site. So that way, if you do need it, you kind of know what to expect back there. It kind of just helps with the nerves of going to a new place.
Now, there were prizes. Is this what we have here?
Well, we have all kinds of giveaways and things that if people want to find out more information, they can go to countrysideymca.org of different ways that they can engage and win different things. We also typically give away like personal training. So we have what we call our passport. If you walk around with your family and you get people to kind of sign off that you've done this activity as a family and you've checked this out, then it enters you for a chance to win that. So I think last year we had about 600 or 700 people actually enter in that. So it's a great offering. And like I said, we always have freebies. This is a fun bag that we got this year. We're really excited about because, as you know, people going into stadiums, they want the clear bags.
Yeah.
So this isn't just for the pool. We're seeing a lot more people take this into sporting events and things like that. So when everyone comes in the door, they get a free bag. That way they can put all their goodies in it. Because there are a lot of great nonprofits that are also represented there, local businesses, a chance for you to kind of get to find out what resources that they have for, the family and the communities as well.
Are there particular doors they have to go into to the Y?
No, I mean, the good thing about the Y is it's so large. There's 3 different ways to enter the building. But I would say our main space is the lower level. So that's kind of where our main hub is, because that's where Premier Health is. So if you go past the north entry, it's kind of that lower level is the best way to get there. But any door you can come in, and we're just excited to have the community and to see kind of some, like I said, some of those updates we've made, some of the changes around the Y. Just this past week, we got some new flooring in our main hallway outside the racquetball courts. So it's a lot of things people are coming and taking tours and joining, and they're going, wow, that wasn't there last year. Or wow, it's been a while since I've seen that. So that's been cool to hear as well.
Now, I saw something called, was it InBody? What was it? Evaluation or something?
Yes. So it's basically, instead of just looking at the number on the scale, it's a body composition. So it's looking at your muscle, your water, your weight, a lot of different factors. So if you're at a point, whether you're an athlete looking to improve your overall body comp, or you're someone who's maybe your doctor has been like, you need to change your diet, you need to change your exercise, it gives you a lot more information. So you're looking at your bone density and water and weight. And so then that way we do a free assessment on that day that's typically a $40 value. And our hope is that then you can make some strides towards some healthy living and then come back and get that scan again and actually can see those numbers improve. I'm sure you've heard people say, if you're just watching the scale, you're not seeing the whole picture. If you change your diet, change your exercise, your sleep habits, your water intake, your body will actually start to have those changes with the body comp, and you get to actually see those results, and it can be very helpful.
Now, once again, for this event, the Y is completely open.
Yeah, it's
Everything
open,
is free.
It's free. Yes, we just want the community to come in, check it out. All ages, whether you have kids or not, it's just open to the community.
And what's the date again?
It's Saturday, February 10th, kicks off at 10 a.m. and will run to about 12:30. So it's a jam-packed time that we're open there. But that's just a good time in the morning to kind of open our doors to the community.
And if they want to sign up for classes, they should register to make sure they're not overbooked, but they can do that beforehand.
Yep, and they can check us out online where we have our schedules where you can reserve your spot in the class.
Well, that is a great program. I didn't realize it's nationwide.
Yeah, and it's funny because like most Ys actually do it a little bit later. They usually do it like that March, April area, but we've historically always done it in February. So I personally like it. I think this is that kind of that time where, okay, it's past the holidays. Some people's New Year's resolutions are kind of wearing off.
Yeah.
We've been inside too much, maybe too many video games. So it's a way to get the kids, like, I even love seeing people that just have little ones that are just now starting to walk. Just walking the hallways is exercise for them to just get them out of the house with this cold weather. I know we've had some years that it's torrential downpour. You never know what you're going to get on February.
Yeah.
So no matter what the weather is, you know, come inside, let the kids run around, get some energy out, and just kind of connect as a family.
It's a great facility, the Countryside Y, and a lot of people, although they know where it is, they probably have never been in it.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity to see what it offers and to see what you can get involved in, and it's totally free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Sally.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. In our first segment, I made the comment, deja vu all over again. And in a sense, deja vu all over again. Allie is still with us.
Yes.
Amy is back from the first segment. And we're joined by Anita Pelletier. And we're going to talk about the Countryside Y Gala. When is this gala, Anita?
It is February 23rd,
Okay.
Friday.
And what's the purpose of the gala?
It's for our annual campaign that we have for the Warren County, and the different proceeds go to all of our events or our, I want to say, like,
Yeah, our community outreach.
a community outreach, yes.
Can you guess what the theme is this year?
Well, a Pink Lady, I think of Grease in the 50s.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Anita doesn't dress like this every single day. This is just special for Gala. We love a good theme. We love good music, and we thought that this would be a fun theme to kind of get to celebrate and enjoy.
Well, last year, I remember, didn't you have a headband last year?
Yes,
Yes.
I did for the
Now,
disco.
I see a pattern here. I'm going to predict that the next year it'll be the Roaring 20s.
Oh, no, we've
So
done that before.
We did?
We did. We
So
had
we're
Roaring
going
20s.
down 10 or 20 years every time. Now, how do you get involved and get information on the gala? If you wanted tickets, or do you buy a table, or do you buy individual tickets? How does that work?
I'll say there's a lot of opportunities to get involved. As far as supporting the cause, you can attend. You can sponsor a table. We have 4 of our main sponsors here that have been great supporters of the Y. LCMB Bank, Warren County ESC, Miami Valley Gaming supports our Veterans Connect program, in addition to Conger Construction, which has been a great resource to us. I know we just redid our comp and instructional pool, and we are so grateful for them. And so if you want to get involved, there's a long list of sponsors that support us that you can actually go and network and attend. And whether you go or not, we have an online raffle. So you can donate raffle baskets, you can purchase raffle baskets, but it's all for a good cause. It's all for our community outreach. I love that we do it in February because camp's right around the corner. And so for a lot of people, camp is like childcare when they're not in school. And so this has been a big fundraiser for financial assistance for those families that really need to send their kids to camp. And they love sending them to the Y because they know us or familiar with us.
I don't know if we brought this up yet, but when is it in February? What day?
February 23rd. It's a Friday evening.
Friday evening.
Yep.
Okay.
It's at the Manor House.
Manor House. Okay, great place to have
Yep.
it. Now, does all the money raised stay in the Countryside Y? So it's a completely local thing.
Yes, everything that gets raised is for our community outreach in Warren County.
Okay.
So programs you're probably familiar with is like our 4th grade Begin to Swim that we do with Lebanon City Schools, Wayne Local Schools, Little Miami. We have, like I said, the financial assistance. We also have blessed respite and kinship care for those families that just need that time that we can just kind of take care of their kids and have them have a good time. There's just a lot of programs, as well as a early learner literacy program where we remove the barrier of transportation to get your child to preschool. We actually come to them and provide preschool to them at no cost in their community.
Well, those are great causes. That's fantastic. Amy, you, the Booster of Lebanon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've served on the committee with these amazing ladies along with some other phenomenal individuals. I believe in the cause. I believe in the importance of the YMCA and all that they do. And I don't think people realize the amount of outreach that is done with the YMCA. And obviously they've mentioned a few. This is a great fun. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. Now, I had a great deal of fun last year, and I plan to have even more. So, I've donated. We talk about donating things. I've donated some artwork for the cause. I'll be up on stage for a part of it to have an understanding of how generous many of our patrons are, to raise a great deal of money. I'm going to bring Madge and I'm going to bring the CEO up on stage to do a little dancing to see how much money that can be raised. So we're ready for the best time ever. I love the theme. Working on an outfit. It's a surprise, so we'll see. But it's going to be a great time, and we want everybody to come and experience the fun for such a worthy programs that really impact the lives of some wonderful people.
You know, some people may not realize how much the Y reaches out, and how this sort of thing would help pay for the costs of that. And so people who perhaps can't afford to go to the Y can appreciate some of the Y where they are, and the children learning to swim and what have you. Now, last year was a great success, wasn't it?
Sure was.
It was.
Yeah. So hopefully this one will be just as good.
I think so.
We want to step it up just a
there you
little
go.
bit
Of
in
course,
terms
yeah.
of reaching a little bit higher goal, and I believe we can do it.
Okay. Now, once again, when is it?
Let you go again.
It's February 23rd. It's on Friday at the Manor House
At the
in
Manor
Mason.
House in Mason, okay.
Yes.
5:30, right?
Correct. And you can get an individual seat, couple seating, or again, sponsor a table.
And at the event itself, there's going to be dancing, and there's going to be fantastic music and other things to enjoy themselves.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have all types of fun stuff, right?
Yes.
We're gonna have popcorn, hot dogs,
Cotton
candy
candy.
machine. We always have
Photo booth.
and it's a really fun theme because I was shocked how much last year everyone dressed up. People
Yes.
really got into it.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't see one person who wasn't dressed up, but I will say I think this is a theme that you can either go basic in your chucks and your jeans and a white tee, or you can really go all in with the pink. I might even have to get one of those wigs, with like the beauty school dropout wig.
Right.
That'd be so
Yes.
good. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun, and I think it's really a fun kind of night out on the town that's different than just going to a formal dinner.
I can visualize Pink Lady eating candy, cotton candy, you know.
Well, this is outfit number 1. I do have another one for the evening.
Okay.
It's like a bride. You have like the
Now, are you,
reception.
in the middle of the night, are you going to change outfits? Well, thank you so much for telling us about this great gala program, and thank you two for coming back.
Thank you.
Best of success to the gala.
All right, thank you.
Okay. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our next guest is no stranger to the City Show. He's been involved with most city shows for well over a decade. You don't always see him sitting on the couch. He's usually behind that camera. And that's Dave Ware, and he is an Ohio certified volunteer naturalist, and he's here to talk about the Great Backyard Bird Count. Welcome to the couch, Dave.
Well, thank you.
What is the Great Backyard Bird Count?
The Great Backyard Bird Count is a citizen science project that's been in existence for over 25 years. It started as local pockets of birders collecting data on various bird populations in their home areas, but it's eventually spread and grown to where people all over the United States were reporting their sightings. and then it went all over North America, and then it went all over South America, and in the last couple of years, it's a worldwide data collection process of looking at various birds around the world in their habitats each year and looking for shifts, if there are any, in population trends and trying to interpret what those shifts mean. And so we have like 300,000 people, 350,000 people around the world now looking at birds and turning in their reports of what species are we seeing and how many. And this goes into an electronic database so that these 1/3 people funnel their data into a handful of avian biologists who have tools to make sense of what's coming in. And so there's a lot to learn. It is scientific. So it's bird watching on steroids.
Yeah. Now, under this program, you have citizens and residents getting involved. It's going to be in 2 locations around here.
Around here, at least 2 that I know of.
Okay,
Yes.
and one is Armco Park.
Armco.
And when is that?
That is on Saturday, the 18th of February, from 8 o'clock until noon. And that would be at the Jones Pavilion in Armco Park, which is right near the boat dock.
Yes.
And so we might see some shorebirds because we're close to the lake. So any waterfowl in the area might be sighted and tabulated there. And so that's an event that will be sponsored by the Friends of the Warren County Park District. They have naturalists and volunteer naturalists who will be happy to answer questions that the public might have about birding, take them on walks through birding habitat in the park. There will be indoor, in the pavilion, indoor activities related to birding. There's going to be a representative there from Wild Birds Unlimited. Wild Birds Unlimited has 2 stores in our area. One is in Springboro. One is in Westchester, I believe.
Yes.
And they have been providing us bird seed the last few weeks, which we put in feeders around the Jones Pavilion at Armco Park to attract birds and get their attention so they'll be sure to come and make themselves seen while we have visitors at the park on that day. And so we can watch the birds from inside the pavilion through the many windows if the weather's inclement, or we can go outside and walk around and see them in the park without the pavilion being in the way.
Now, on the following day in Lebanon, it's going to be something at Miller Ecological Park.
That's true. We've done this several years now at Miller Ecological Park. We have an avid birder by the name of Austin Langdon who lives near the park and has made birding his intense hobby. He has found all of the best bird habitat in Miller Park, which is a couple of 100 acres. No, it's 100 acres, I guess. And he's got all the birding habitat spotted so that we can follow him into the park and be assured of seeing quite a variety of birds to take note of and log in and send to the database at Great Backyard Bird Count. So I think Austin has tabulated, he and his friends in Miller Park have tabulated, I wrote that down, 163 species. I looked that up recently. So that's a lot of birds right in the city, 163 birds right in Miller Park.
I think last year Austin joined you on the couch, didn't he?
He did. He wasn't able to come this year. I'd have been happy to have him again. He's probably 60 years younger than me. And so he moves through the birding habitat a little faster than I can, but I can still keep up with him.
Now, as I recall from last year, although these things are happening on a Saturday and a Sunday, the observing of birds can be on other days than those 2 days.
Every middle of February, it's across a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So people that are working on Friday and Monday can participate in the event on the weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Those that aren't working can participate anytime from their own homes if they want to. You don't have to go to a park. I mean, the data is collected from just about any place that you find birds. I had a neat experience this week. I was taking a nap in my lazy boy chair by the backyard window. I opened my eyes and looked out, and a flock of sandhill cranes flew over my house. And I don't see that very often around here, especially this time of year. These birds stand 4 feet tall when they're on the ground. So, and they're pretty raucous. They make a lot of noise. You know how Canada geese sound flying. Well, these are louder. So it was quite a thrill to see that. And I have seen those one time in Miller Park. So can't guarantee that we'll see cranes or eagles or owls on this coming event this year, but we have seen them before. Usually 30 or 40 species during our weekend events in the 2 parks that we've talked about.
Now, I believe you recommend that if you have binoculars that people bring them.
Be good to bring binoculars if you have them. If you don't have them, we probably have a few on hand there at the Jones Pavilion anyway that you can borrow. Appreciate it if you'd leave them at the park. Austin usually brings some to Miller Park with him too. So if you need to borrow a pair, that's fine. If you have your own, then you're familiar with all the adjustments on them and everything, and you'd be happy to have those with you.
Is there an official form that an observer or birder would fill out when they see something?
Well, what we usually do is we maybe take notes while we're out birding. We come back and we get online through our favorite web browser, and we go to birdcount.org, which is a website that will bring up the instructions on where to find in their menu, where to find the reporting list, and you can put in the species you've seen, the number of those you've seen, and submit them. And then the scientists will review those inputs and say, well, look here, we've got an increase in bird population in this area. For instance, in your memory and mine, Canada geese have become more common around here. That trend is a population rising. And the reason was found, the scientists have tools to find out why this happens. Back when I was a kid, the Canada geese went into summer in Canada, and they would winter in the southern United States when Canada was frozen solid. Well, that's because there wasn't any place for them to stop around here on their migratory route. But we now have a lot of man-made impoundments, like Cedar Creek Lake, Armco Lake, and the birds have found these impoundments. The EPA has required every subdivision to put in a settling pond.
Oh, yes.
And the settling ponds are used to take runoff from our subdivisions and communities and get the impurities out before the rest of the water goes into the rivers and streams and waterways. But the geese found those, and they decided, well, look, we got open water here all winter now. We don't have to go south anymore. So here they are, hundreds of them. I drove over here today past the government center in the middle of Lebanon, where there's a big settling pond. There must have been 200 geese right there. Wow. And you know, they think they own the place, and if they want to walk across the street 20 at a time in front of your car, they won't get out of your way. You have to stop and let them go.
Well, that's what happened to me about a month ago. I mean, on Justice Drive, I just stopped, and it was like a geese crossing. You know, they almost had a crossing guard. You know.
Well, that's one example of a population that's going up. And there are other populations that have been trended that are going down, especially game birds like ruffed grouse, which is a partridge. And the ruffed grouse's population went down so much that over my recent memory, the state's, it's a game bird, the state's bag limit has been reduced from 3 birds a day to 1, just to maintain a stable population if we can, without ending hunting altogether. Well, the scientists determined that the reduction in grouse population was due to the aging of forests in Ohio. Grouse like young forest, where there's a lot of sunlight that gets in and a lot of understory where they can find the foods that they like. Well, in the 1900s, Ohio was cleared of forest, and as it grew back, the grouse liked that, but now that it's aged and we're doing less logging in Ohio, there isn't as much shade getting down there. There isn't as much food, and grouse have moved off to better forests that are younger. So we can track these populations and using scientific tools, finally define which factors correlate with the changes in populations of the various wildlife species, birds in particular, but it could work for any wildlife species actually.
Now, the American bald eagle, that's coming back too,
Well,
right?
it is way back. I mean, probably 70 years ago, we might have had 2 or 3 nesting pairs in Ohio, and they were up on Lake Erie. Today, we have close to 1,000 nesting pairs of bald eagles in Ohio in every single county. And the reason that the population of eagles declined originally was finally traced to the application of DDT in agriculture for insect control. Well, the DDT was eaten by insects that were eaten by fish, because some of the fish will eat the waterborne insects, and it gets into the food chain, and it also leaches from agriculture into the rivers and streams and gets into the fish. Well, eagles eat fish, and they were eating the DDT. And the DDT caused the eagles' eggshells to be thin so that they didn't survive long enough to hatch. And when DDT was eliminated after it was discovered that it was the source of the problem, eagle populations immediately began to rebound, and they've been recovering ever since. So DDT is gone forever in our country anyway, and probably every place. But it's been a boon to the eagles to have it gone, because now they can eat without fear of having soft-shelled eggs that don't survive.
Now, the Great Backyard Bird Count in Armco Park is on Saturday, the 18th, I believe.
That's right.
From 8 until 12?
Yes.
And then on Sunday, the 19th at Miller Park, was it 10 to 12 or something like
It's
that?
in the morning. It's 8 to 10 in the morning.
Okay.
Austin,
8 to 10 in the morning.
Austin likes to go out early in the morning because that's really when the birds are most active. They've been on their roost all night. They're hungry to get going in the morning and fuel up on whatever food they can find. And so Austin has learned, like a lot of birders have, that the best time for birding at any time of day is early in the morning. So have your coffee and donuts early and get out and see the birds.
And what's the website if you want to get the form and more information again?
It's called birdcount.org. And on there is an awful lot of information to take in, and it would pay you to spend 15 minutes looking at that website and getting familiar with it. You'll learn the history of the program, how to play the game, how to turn in a report, and there are probably a lot. You can research various areas outside of our area too. You can say, well, what is the population trend of a Kirtland's warbler in Michigan? And it'll tell you. And tell you why that trend is going up and down, or if it's stable. So lots of information on birdcount.org.
Well, thank you, Dave. And I also want to thank you for all you do for the city show behind camera number 5, is it?
That's number 6.
Number 6, excuse me.
But
Okay.
there's nobody there now. You're your own cameraman right now, so good job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, thanks again.
All right.
Join us next time, and I'll see you around town.